Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Makuhitan.
Makuhita.
AKA Tanner Green Ring, and I am joined as always by my co-host, Machosh.
Machop.
Machop.
Or Machoke, I guess.
Or Machoke. It was Machop.
Oh, we saw Machop, though.
It's those two are Brawly's two Pokemon.
Yeah.
Brawly, the gym leader we took on this week in Dewford Town.
Back to old Dewford.
Back to little Dewford Town. Even the Bulbapedia entry for Dewford Town is like, yeah, there's nothing here. The only reason anyone ever comes here is to fight Brawly in the gym.
And they are always starved to know what is hip and happening on the mainland.
Yeah.
That thirstiness has not gone away in this remake.
That family is pretty creepy.
The Dewford Hall one?
Yeah. They're all just standing perfectly still in like T poses. There's even like seats and like a table, but none of them are sitting. They're all standing and they're all talking about the same thing in a very cryptic and odd way.
It's spooky.
I can't remember what they were talking about for me. I buzzed through their dialogue pretty quickly, but they all mentioned, the potion, there's a potion festival.
Oh, so the default's the same? Okay, mine was also potion festivals.
So I guess we're going to have to go. I haven't found the person who lets me update that message yet. Have you?
It's the dude who's pacing around right outside.
Oh, I guess I didn't talk to him. I tend to only talk to people in the houses for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
Because like the other people are just there to like have like trainer tips, you know? It's only the people who are in houses
usually.
that give you shit.
I guess that's true. Yeah, most of the time.
So I tend to skip the people who are outside.
I don't really know why on these remakes I still talk to everyone, because I at least vaguely remember at this point who actually gives things, but I just like, it's been ingrained in my head for, 20 plus years that I have to talk to everyone, and I just can't stop.
At least I'm talking to them this time, and I'm getting some good stuff out of it. But apparently, I got really excited. So in Dewford Town, there's a guy who will let you sort of program in a couple of like verbs from a list. And then
to tell them what is hot.
To tell them on Dewford
They're
Island.
Starved for information.
Yeah. Did it remind you of Bainbridge, Dewford Town?
Yeah, it's exactly right. All the flannel shirts and skinny jeans took another year to make it over to Bainbridge from Seattle.
Everyone was talking, the default is Potion Festival. And everyone was talking about this Potion Festival in this house.
Which actually
sounds cool.
Pokemon game sounds like
I got excited
sort of
about it. They were talking about like, there's special costumes for the Potion Festival. It's like, I want to see this Potion Festival, but then I realized after talking to the fifth one of them, I was like, oh, these are the people who just repeat back whatever like a cool phrase you.
You're like, all right, yeah, let's go, gang. Let's go.
You got me
Potion
amped.
Festival.
Is it here? Is it in Dewford?
How do I get tickets?
Because I just walked the width and breadth of this place, and I didn't see a Potion Festival. It's not not a big island.
I'd rather go to that Potion Festival than Lollapalooza again.
Yeah, because you caught COVID. How are you feeling?
Probably. I'm still positive, but I don't have any
feeling positive.
Left.
Great,
I'm
that's good.
Hanging out. Yeah, I feel positive about it.
We should tell the bug catchers, I suppose, that because Josh has so many vacations, just rolling off of one and rolling right into a new one in just a couple
I
weeks.
missed one of them, which I would have been on right now if I didn't get COVID. So
we're doing some double records this week. So he and I just met a couple days ago to discuss our journey to Rustboro gym, and here we are just 2 days later on our way to Dewford Town.
Yeah, we gotta bank them.
Which is why Josh still has COVID too.
Right. Yeah.
He's not suffering from
hopefully
long COVID
the normal time, Tuesday or Wednesday, when we record next, it will be gone.
Eradicated from your
Fortunately,
system.
This leg was very short. They did the thing like in X and Y where one of the first two gyms was an extremely long leg. Last time it was 2, and this game it kicks off with an extremely long leg.
Yeah.
But then I think I spent about like a little over an hour.
Yeah, I played the entire thing this morning before we recorded, so...
It felt shorter than it was in the original Ruby and Sapphire. Like, Dewford Town felt smaller to me, and then I went into Granite Cave right after, because I forgot. I actually went to it first.
I went to it first. I did not go back after.
And there were a bunch of, like, ruins or, like, fossil maniacs who were, like, lined up to go in and, like, check out what's going on in there.
Yeah.
But I went back after the gym because it was like it was Friday night and I can't do anything except sit on my couch and play Pokemon.
Right.
So I went to Granite Cave, and it's like one room. And I thought in Ruby and Sapphire it was like a couple of levels.
It is.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, spoilers alert, it's not in this. It's like literally you go in the main entry chamber, and then the next room, Steven's in there.
You need the bike in to the left on the main level. To the left, there's a little dirt ramp.
You need the acro bike.
That's how you get to the basements, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So at this stage, it was always short.
It must have been. I don't remember. But you do get like flash, so you're ready for like your next session in the cave as soon as we have a bike.
Yeah.
Do I hear now that in the new games coming out? Sorry, we're not a Pokemon news podcast, except now we are, because we're going to be talking about Pokemon news for a second. Maybe we should
finally going to talk about Scarlet and Violet.
I think we're going to address something in Scarlet and Violet that I wait. Are Scarlet and Violet non-canon?
No. Us talking about a new game before. God,
would that be so ballsy? That would be so cool if Pokemon were like, here's a new Pokemon game. It looks and plays exactly like a Pokemon game, except it's not canon.
It's fake.
Yeah. None of these Pokemon count.
Well, it is kind of funny because we talked about that in the Pokemon Go interstitial. You know, what is the timeline? What's the universe that Pokemon Go is in? Because Team Rocket's there, Professor Willow's there. He's new. He's made up for it, but he references Professor Oak. So it's like, where are they? Right. And they don't always, like, Pokemon Company doesn't always comment on, like, is this game canon? Like, does Pokemon Trading Card Game Island exist?
Yeah, does that exist on the world? Because the world is also our world.
Right. Like,
is it like
maybe some people are just like bad at naming islands?
UAE. It's like those man-made islands off the coast of the
Emirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If they did that, it's like technically maybe they could just randomly be like, you know what?
Pokemon
Scarlet and Violet didn't count.
Well, I mean,
whatever it's called, Palmia. What's the region?
Some of the screenshots, Josh, make it seem like at some point they're gonna have the Paldea region. They're gonna have to like retcon some of this stuff, like the fact that the two legendaries are motorcycles, and they've, I think, done away with traditional bikes. And I think we're here to offer a rest in pedals to Pokemon bikes.
Yeah, that's what I was slacking about that with a coworker / bug catcher friend about the release of that video, and then and specifically the bike legendaries,
who also they apparently aren't bikes because they still use their feet.
Right, they like in the trailer. It looks like, I mean, it's heavily implied based on the fact they have fucking wheels
and look like motorcycles and are shaped like motorcycles. Yeah,
but then on the website, if you go to it, it says they use their legs to crawl around, or like, don't be misled by these tires. Like, they crawl around on their legs, and then it's like, well, then why the fuck do they have these wheels that look dumb and inexplicable? And also. Yeah. If we're in a world, like Pokemon World has had bikes in it since Gen 1.
Right.
So why wouldn't you just give us bikes instead of like...
Also, the legendaries you don't get until the end game.
Well, you must get them sooner, I guess.
Also, I think the Crystal Pokemon look... I guess, I don't know. I don't have a hard stance on the Crystal Pokemon. I don't think they look great, but they don't really upset me that much.
Yeah, I guess I'm the same. I think my thing is I just don't like that there's some gimmick every gen at this point, like with the evolutions or power-ups or whatever. Like, why don't you just like slim it down?
Or just bring back the cool
run with one for
just bring back Mega Evolutions. That's the best one you've done. Or whatever this one that everyone loves in Sword and Shield. What's it called?
Oh, Dynamax. I feel like Dynamax, from what I can tell, I didn't like super love it in my limited amount of time with the game, but it feels like that's the most popular one.
Yeah.
And then Mega Evolution, actually, I think is pretty disparaged because it's so limited.
I think it's great.
There's like 48 Pokemon.
I think that's one of the best parts about it.
I think I like it. I really like the designs for the most part, other than in Pokemon
And it
Go,
sounds better than whatever this Sun and Moon shit is. Z moves?
Z moves, I think, were the lowest
like
rank.
Z crystals? I don't want that at all.
I did not like Z moves. I remember that.
I don't think I played enough. I don't think I actually have ever played any Sun and Moon. I think I bought it and never opened it. What are we calling this Pokemon news segment? Now we're just like every other Pokemon podcast. Yeah. Here's something you read about 3 days ago. If you're a Pokemon fan,
Experience Share does the news from weeks ago. That's like, yeah, we're experiencing Hisuian Pokemon for the first time when we were doing Pokemon Go. Like,
yeah, everyone has heard of these Pokemon.
Yeah,
and seen these Pokemon. Anyway, we're gonna lose the bikes at some point, and I am in pre-morning. But
it'd be even more confusing if they have bikes plus the Dragon legendary bikes.
I just feel like it's demeaning. This is a legendary Pokemon, and now I'm just riding around on it.
I'm pretty sure you're the guy who's made one of the legendaries before into your HM friend, but
that's true. Well, that wasn't me. That was a character I was playing.
Mr. Squirt?
Who was it?
Maybe?
Yeah, I think Mr. Squirt used Articuno as an HM friend. Kink.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Did you say kink?
Sorry, 1 second. BDSM.
Jesus.
Kink. Bike woman.
What, getting run over?
What? No.
Yeah, a lot of people are sexually aroused by the idea of getting run over by a woman or a celebrity or
I'm looking there's a particular meme image of a bike, a man riding a bike or like a chariot, and the chariot is entirely made out of women.
Oh god, I think I've seen that too.
And that's what I was going to send you, and that's what these legendaries from Scarlet and Sapphire remind me of.
Why don't you just Google bike made of sexy women?
Good luck, Josh. I just Googled about 4 things, and none of them returned the result that I'm looking for.
It's just
much harder than you think.
Alongside bikes.
And but it's like a kink thing. BDSM woman bike.
Chariot comprised of sexy women.
Oh, I found it.
That didn't help.
BDSM carriage. Here, I'll send you the link. Obviously, you're going to want to take a look at this.
It's human affinity check. The BDSM carriage. Oh, wow.
It's like a carriage made out of 3 women. One is sort of the structure of the carriage. One is the seat, and one is the means of conveyance. And there's a man riding on top who's just in blue jeans and a t-shirt, the least kinky out. They're all in latex bodysuits, and he's just in his in a 5K shirt and blue jeans.
He must be really rich.
Yeah, I guess. Or these are legendary Pokemon that he've caught.
These are the only 4 people who found each other who were into this specific kink.
Well, they're going to love these new legendaries.
I'd like to be the axle in a human bike, and then, okay, we really need a seat.
The news segment is now over. We're back to our journey across the Hoenn region. We're back in Hoenn, as you know, bug catchers. And we've just left Roxanne's gym in Rustboro City, and we take about 2 steps out the door when some fucking nerd runs up to us. Some dork from the Devon Corp, some with his lab guy,
snivelly little glasses, yeah.
And he says, "Help me! Some guy in a blue outfit just took some Devon parts from the Devon Corp, and we need them back." And I am one of the Devon Corp's biggest evangelists.
We're brand ambassadors.
Yeah, we're brand ambassadors. So I'm furious.
Papa Cultura was wearing his Devon Corp shirt.
Yeah. And I was wearing Devon Corp sneakers, as you know.
Right.
And riding a Devon Corp bike. No, I don't have a bike yet.
Not yet. One day.
He runs, this guy in the blue. And I imagine in your game it was a guy in red.
That's right.
He runs down Route 116 towards Rusturf Tunnel, we're told. So we're in pursuit.
Hot pursuit.
Run. I didn't even go heel. It was like, well, shit, I gotta go. And I ran after this dude.
Well, I healed because I had to release my my Wingle. Right. J-Law.
Right.
Rest in pedals.
Rest in pedals, Jude Law. Route 116, Josh, what a lovely little route. There's a ton of grass, there's a few trainers, but there's also just seemingly a ton of Pokemon in here.
There are, yeah.
Fun Pokemon too. I added some new blood to the team.
I did too. 2 new bloods. That sounds weird.
2 new bloods from the gang.
2 new
bloods. The West Coast gang.
One of them is also Joshy's sweetie.
Oh, okay. Hit me with it.
Skitty.
Yeah, I'm so torn on Skitty.
So
Sell me. What's
I got
your
a
pitch?
couple of things to say. First is I have never had Skitty on the list, and I know that because I will give a respete to the user Fueled by Robert on the subreddit, who made an extremely comprehensive, expertly crafted index of all barfs and sweeties from all the seasons, every episode, even including like tweets where we've said like I endorsed Hisuian Growlith, even though we've never actually obviously done that in the show. So well done, Fueled by Robert. And I scanned it after I was thinking about Skitty being the sweetie this week, and I have never said Skitty, and the reason for that is I don't think 2D was really doing Skitty any favors. Like, it was honestly such a small
and it was just
sprite.
Generic.
You could barely tell what's going on. But I think, and Bobby thinks, who put him on the list because we're playing Wedlock, and all of my selections have to be based on what Bobby has chosen.
Right.
That, let me just quote this real quick.
Pink is a powerful color, and that Skitty knows that pink is a powerful color, and that people, especially in the Hoenn region, probably underestimate pink or previous Pokemon that have been pink, and that she's here to show them how powerful a pink Pokemon can be. And I think that that's inspirational, and I'm intimidated by her, ultimately.
Plus, in this 3D environment, and you can actually make out its sweet fucking face, it just looks like it's like quietly confident. And I think
it's got
that's
this little,
what's
like,
good about Skitty.
It's got this little smirk on its face. Skitty won me over in Pokemon Go.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm
I had never really paid much attention to Skitty, but seeing it in full 3D in Pokemon Go really won me over. I like its little like content smile.
Yeah. It's got a reserved confidence that I like.
And it evolves into Delcatty, who I love, because Delcatty is like, hey, I just got off an overnight flight.
You know, I want to be able. I can't be bothered to get rid of this travel pillow. What if I want to
But I'm
sleep
making
at
it work.
any given time?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a cat.
Yeah.
Endorsed.
Yeah,
Put
Route 16 is
Skitty on
great.
the list.
It's full of good Pokemon. I caught several of qualified sweeties from the area. Jamie's sweeties. Mrs. Squirt's sweeties. Sorry.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into that in level check. And honestly, I'll just be really upfront with you right now, bug catchers. We're going to get to some of the Pokemon in kill count as well this week for old Admiral Squirt. He had a rough week.
Oh, dear.
We had a rough
Burials
go.
at sea.
Yeah, a few burials at sea. Yeah.
Mr. Briny's just rolling their corpses off the back of the boat. Oh, man.
Rusturf Tunnel.
Rusturf Tunnel.
Which is still being constructed, as we know.
Another Devon Corp project.
Yeah, they're like, I didn't realize they were doing like fucking infrastructure projects, you know? Like, this is going to shape the world. This is like the Panama Canal. This is going to connect two corners of the planet.
Yeah, one of the trainers who's out on Route 116 is talking about how, like, you know, without this tunnel, like, you gotta go south, and then you gotta go east, and then you gotta go north to get to, what is it, Verdant-Turf?
Yep.
Like, I mean, Devon, like, truly pioneering business.
Yeah.
Although we find out that they had to stop the construction because of all these environmentalists who are trying to protect the Whismers.
Because this place is full of Whismers who have very sensitive hearing,
That's right.
or something, I don't know, but they shout pretty loudly for creatures who have sensitive hearing.
Well, they don't know how loud that they're making sounds.
I saw several, and I also created like a small mound of Whismer corpses.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Because you can't take two steps in this fucking place without bumping into
No, and I'm like not loaded enough that I'm just buying a bunch of repels at this point.
Oh, we should also say, before we even enter Rusturf Tunnel, though, we run into a gentleman out front by the name of Mr. Briny. Yes. And I said, oh, Mr. Briny, it's me, Admiral Squirt.
Ahoy hoy.
Yeah, ahoy hoy, yeah.
I'm your admiral now.
I'm your admiral now. You're retired, and we went to military academy together, and we fought in
Right.
that big war and killed a lot of people together and a lot of Pokemon. And it changed us forever, and also like cemented our bond in a way that like no other relationship could be cemented.
Oh my god. Was there ever a little experimentation like this? Or...
I think seeing the things these two saw, I don't think there's any room for romance in that relationship.
I see. Yeah, that's fair.
I immediately recognized him. He said, "Oh, Admiral Squirt, you need to help me. Some guy in blue just came and took my sweet, what's his name, Pico?
Pico.
Yeah, took my sweet Pico." And I know, I mean, he's a friend of mine. I know how much he loves that Pokemon. So I was like, all right, I'll head in. I think it's the same guy who took my machine parts. So
yeah.
I went in, I killed a bunch of Whismers, and then found this villain, and it's Team Aqua. This is not our first run-in with Team Magma and Team Aqua, though. We originally saw
one of them in Petalburg Woods.
And then there was a little
who was harassing the same scientist.
Now we're fighting them again, and they continue to just be a joke.
Yeah, one Puccina, level 13.
Yep. Why bother? Send in the big guns.
Why bother at all? Like, this guy could practically get defeated by the Whismers in this tunnel.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Honestly, surprised he made it.
They're all level like 8. I fought a level 10 one.
Yeah.
Couple of those.
So I grab the parts and I grab Pico and I go out, and Mr. Briney's like, "Thanks, you know where to find me. Come grab a ride from me anytime you need one."
I'll point out two things. First, I will hand it to Pokemon Company for all of the times that they make us do crazy fetch quests. I love that they just threw, not that this was the same in Ruby and Sapphire, but commending them for just throwing Mr. Briney and Pico in on this. Like, we already had to go do this, and they were like, "Oh wait,
yeah,
we need them to be able to take a boat and get a favor from this guy."
Yeah,
how about whatever? You know, the grunt also steals Wingull.
It's storytelling.
Creative directors like,
it's good storytelling.
Fine.
Thank you for connecting the dots, Pokemon. You're like fucking J.J. Abrams over here.
The other thing that I thought was interesting, isn't this the part of Rusturf where those star-crossed lovers are? Or is that a different part?
Oh, yes.
Because remember, where there's some tunnel here where there's...
Later in the game, the player will find two people separated by a pair of rocks, which can be smashed using Rock Smash.
But it's not.
It happens later.
Okay, well, cut all that. At that point, I thought it was like Pokemon Company was like, this whole thing with those two was a little...
maybe, yeah. I think like they probably just pushed it later in the episode because they heard that we were coming and reclaiming wedlock and sort of like destroying the heteronormative like complex.
That's right.
So they're like, well, we can't like, if these two are going to be taking a stand against heteronormativity, we can't have like this like opposite sex couple like pining after one another in this tunnel
over a pile of rocks. Yeah.
And then someone at Pokemon Company said, they were like, well, what if we made it 2 men or 2 women? And the boss was like, no, just take them out.
What are you, crazy?
That's way too far. But I think that we'll just see them later in the game.
All right.
And they'll still be a man and a woman. I'm sorry.
Well, that's a shame for a variety of reasons. But we'll just plow ahead.
Head back to the Devon Corp. Hand in the missing parts, or do we?
The scientist is right out front. He thanks us. He gives us a great ball. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Well, I guess I haven't been able to buy one yet, so it is nice, but also, like, I imagine at the next fucking Pokemon Mart that I encounter. Oh, by the way, in this game, there's still 2 separate buildings, which I didn't realize was so annoying until now. Because, like, Dewford Town doesn't have a Pokemon Mart. It just has a Pokemon Center. And it's like, that sucks. Now I got to take a fucking boat back to get more Pokeballs. Fuck you.
It makes a lot more sense that a hospital and a store would be separate, but now that I'm used to it, I'm upset.
And I got to tell you something. I recently went to a hospital to get my son vaccinated against COVID-19. And as we were leaving, they put a store right next to the elevator full of toys. It's like, great, thanks, hospital.
Well, I think that's usually if you want to get a gift to comfort somebody who's sick.
Yeah, I know what it's for.
It's not really like they're selling soda pops.
Try telling that to a fucking 3-year-old who just got a fucking shot and you're on your way out of the fucking building and he's like crying and he needs consolation and you walk past a store full of literally pop and toys.
Okay. You got suckered into buying something?
So yes, hospitals are stores now, Josh.
Or build him some character. You don't get one of those teddy bears.
No, I got him a toy. back to Devon Corp. So yeah, you hand in the missing machine parts, and you go upstairs and you talk to the boss of Devon Corp, Mr.
Stone. Yeah.
Yes, who is, as we know, Stephen Stone's lover.
Right. Yeah, we're sticking with that one. Yeah,
Older
we're keeping
lover.
it progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he needs you to go and deliver. He's like,
I just got done
thanks
delivering
a lot.
something for you, guy.
Hey, how about you do another favor for us with unclear rewards?
Yeah.
Go give this letter to my lover out in Dewford.
I don't want to be on Devon Corp's bad side, you know? Like, what are they going to do, blacklist me from buying Pokeballs? Or, like, take my sneakers away, you know? Like...
Papa Cultura even gave it a shot. You know, he's from Italy. So he's like, okay, well, what's the kickabacca?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. What did Stone say?
He's like, I
don't understand your accent.
Yeah, that's what he's like. What the hell are you doing here?
So yeah, we're
a progressive company, but
we have a letter in hand, and we have a Briny who owes us a favor. So head back down through Petalburg Woods to Mr. Briny's hut, where he's up to his old hijinks. He's up to his favorite pastime of chasing his bird around the house.
Yeah.
You almost feel bad getting in the way.
I know. But I watched it for a little bit to like let them get it in a few more times. Oh my god.
Yucks.
A few more rounds of running around. That's it.
But eventually you do have to interrupt because you got to cash in on your favor and get a ride to Dewford Town, which he blazes you down there in his little boat.
Oh yeah. And another well done Pokemon Company making a boat that actually scales with the size of the sprites this time.
Yeah.
Because I swear it was like 6 squares in Ruby and Sapphire, and now it's a proper fucking boat.
Yeah, now it's a boat.
It was like a dinghy last time, and now it's an actual like speedboat.
Dewford Town is very small, Joshua. There's not a lot to do here, and honestly, we already spent a good 5 minutes at the top of the episode talking about one of the main landmarks, which is this house full of people who say strange things.
Yeah.
What else did you do in Dewford Town? Tell me.
I took a quick
After
break.
this break. Damn it. You saw it coming. Joshua, welcome to Dewford Town.
Welcome.
What'd you do?
Well, there's not much to do. It's a quiet little village, beautiful sand.
Yeah.
We actually, on Bainbridge, the only beautiful sand that we had was at this private golf course where they literally imported sand from Hawaii. Everything else is rocky.
And did you like sneak in, or were you part of the country club?
No, I once snuck in, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to feel that sand between my fingers.
I imagine that was quite expensive. Sounds like a pretty lovely place, Bainbridge Island.
Yeah, well...
And so is Dewford Town, Joshua. I did talk to a man on the beach and got that old rod. Which I'm going to use to catch a shiny. I'm determined.
And why is that? Why shiny with the old rod?
Here's the thing. I've got shiny fever because of Pokemon Go. Josh and I have here's an announcement that...
Oh, yeah. We're retconning
something we said a few weeks ago on our first Pokemon Go episode. We said that shinies in Pokemon Go count as our first shinies. But now that I've caught 10 shinies in Pokemon Go, I'm realizing that the shiny economy in Pokemon Go is maybe a little broken. So before we get to these modern games where it's apparently extremely easy to catch shinies, I want to have my first shiny. So I was looking up the best way to catch shinies in ORAS. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's not very easy. It's there's like a few gimmicks you can do, and one of the key ones is sit in the same spot and just fish over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually you'll. And I think you keep catching things too, so you need a ton of Pokeballs because like it registers that somehow.
Like real fishing.
But like the trick is to not move, so it only works for fishing, and to keep catching things. Keep catching the same Pokemon over and over again.
Right. Okay, so in an old rod, because it can only capture like 2 things.
Right. So you can just catch them over and over and over again. So I'm going to try it.
I didn't even cast the old rod because Magikarp and Tentacool, which is what it can catch, and both of their evolutions are not Bobby's picks. So that is not a route for me.
That's the other thing too is Magikarp and Gyarados are not on the list, but for some reason Tentacool and Tentacruel are.
Oh my god.
Mrs. Squirt has decided that she really likes those Pokemon.
Tentacool.
In fact, her note for Tentacool is, indeed cool.
Tanner tells me that I am in a severe minority with these Pokemon. I assume he means by liking them. I will admit I was not even surprised, like indignant, that he would even ask me to mount a defense of these two extremely fantastic looking Pokemon. Like, first of all, I may have thought they were like squids when I first decided I liked them, but I'm looking at it. I'm pretty sure they're jellyfish. Jellyfish are amazing. And also, what is a better name than Tentacool? Possibly Tentacruel, but I think Tentacool is better. So these guys have it going on in looks, in connection to real world creatures, and in names. So this is a case where the minority is right. If we followed majority rule for everything, we would have no civil rights and we would have no Tentacruel or Tentacool. And that would suck.
Whoa. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, no, and I've never... I didn't think I had ever been married to anyone who would say that, but, our expectations change every day.
So wedlock is already causing some strife in the Green Ring
I'll
household?
say. Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, it also doesn't help that I'm doing a fucking Nuzlocke again, and it's always like, sorry, I can't hang out. I have to go play Pokemon.
Right.
All night. Because we're playing it the hard way again.
Not as hard, but still hard.
Not as hard.
Dewford
And then
Hall, we talked about
here
that.
is where I took my jog into Granite Tunnel.
Me too.
Granite Cave, because I just wanted to check it out. And sure enough, there's like a trainer in here you can battle. But mostly it's just a good place to, A, grind out some levels, and B, catch a few cutie little Pokemon.
Indeed.
There's a few Pokemon in Granite Cave who are on Mrs. Squirt's list.
And Bobby's.
I had to imagine. There's some lovely little guys in here.
I was surprised Geodude made the cut. Not displeased. I don't know if I'll use it, but Geodude and Graveler and Golem are all eligible for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, Geodude is on my list. Oh, and Golem, but not... Oh, wait, that's great, because I can just skip Graveler and go right to Golem.
Yeah.
She skipped Graveler.
Well, you can just trade evolve it, so that's easy.
But she said about Geodude, a classic.
That's true. It is a classic. Yeah. I'm kind of just trying not to run it because I have before, and then also we are about to be treated to Alolan variations that I have not run.
The handsome silver fox from the OC.
Peter Gallagher.
Yeah, Peter Gallagher.
Oh wait, no. You're it was Dr. Roberts.
Oh,
I'm just
Dr.
thinking
Roberts.
of Peter Gallagher these days on Grace and Frankie. Hachi.
Peter Gallagher was your Noctowl.
Yeah, and
I don't know why
Sandy
I
Cohen.
so vividly remember that team.
How do you remember Dr. Roberts and Sandy Cohen, specifically who they were too? Nicely done. Dr. Roberts was my accident where I was like, I can't believe this thing's good.
Yeah, maybe I'll run a Golem. I also caught a Geodude in here, and a Makuhita, and a Zubat, but not an Abra.
I did not see one
because they were not allowed.
Oh my god!
Not on my list.
God, what a eclectic selection you are dealing with.
I know.
Abra not being on there is pretty surprising.
I saw a couple, but they still do their little gimmick of teleporting off right away, so I didn't catch one.
Oh wait,
well, I can't catch one. I couldn't have caught one.
I'll have to get a quote about this. Abra, Kadabra, and Alakazam are also not Bobby picks.
Well, I guess they're pretty ugly.
Yeah, they're ugly.
I was looking at Fueled by Robert's list, and they've all been Barfies before. Maybe not Abra, but Alakazam certainly.
I'm not saying I've never made any of them sweeties, but I like the designs. Mega. Speaking of Mega,
Mega
evolutions,
Alakazam is the coolest.
Yeah, those 5
coolest
spoons.
Ones.
Hell yeah.
Joshua,
yes,
we're rocketing towards the end here. It was a very short leg.
Indeed, yes.
But we do still have to take on Dewford Gym, and before we do that, we have to talk about our teams. And before we do that, I have to talk about my team and how much it's changed in the last week.
Oh yeah.
In a segment called Kill Count. And this all happened in the gym, specifically Machop. Brawly's Machop, for some reason, just was like I don't know, took extra protein that morning or something.
That is so surprising. Machop.
It's
the lower level
weight.
one, isn't it? Level 14?
Yeah, it was lower level, and also all my Pokemon were higher level, and also presumably some of these Pokemon should have been like, I thought birds were really strong against, I thought flying was really strong
It is
against
super
fighting.
effective, yes.
Well, tell that to fucking Brawly's Machop, because he smoked me.
Did
this
he
week.
get a focus energy in, and then it just happened to land a bunch of crits with karate
Must have,
chop?
right? Must have, right? Yeah, he must have gotten a focus energy, because from then on, his karate chops are just like nonstop, just crushing me.
Jesus.
So I've prepared a song, if I can.
All right. Clear the air. I know what it's like.
I'll tell you who it's dedicated to at the end. I will say this. I wrote the song when one of the Pokemon died.
Oh.
So it was specifically about one of the Pokemon, and then 2 more died. So
you're just sort of tacking them on to this eulogy. All right, let me get my handkerchief.
this one's a 90s classic.
I'd expect nothing less.
Closing time. Open all the balls and let you out into the gym. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every mon and every girl. Closing time. One last call for Pokeballs, so finish your potions and berries. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay in your balls. I know who I want to eulogize. I know who I want to eulogize. I know who I want to eulogize. It's Zubat. And then also Surskit and Makihita. So
beautiful.
Rest in peace, rest in petals, Bergen the Zubat, Bassbrook the Surskit, and Greg Davies the Makuhita, who all died at the hands of fucking Brawly's Machop. And then a moment later, I finally kill Machop with Lombre, and then Makuhita comes out, and I kill Makuhita in one hit.
Yeah, that's all very strange.
So rest in petals, those 3 Pokemon. If this is how this series is going to go, Joshua, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to give voice coaching lessons or something.
I know, we're already at a song per episode so far.
Let's talk about our teams.
I did not lose anyone this week, though.
Thank goodness,
So my kill
because you
count
did
is
lose
1.
one last week. My kill
Yeah.
count's up to 3, all new. Tell me about Papa Cultura's team this week.
Papa Cultura, who is an Italian podcast host who is here in Hoenn to find the biggest celebrities that he can, but he's got face blindness, like Brad Pitt. He doesn't really know who he's meeting, not really sure what they all look like. Do they have regular human skin or fur and claws?
Yeah.
Unclear.
Yeah.
Doesn't know. So he has met so far Tom Cruise.
A lot of man-like Pokemon, though. This must be an especially confusing gym and route for him, because like he's meeting like Machops and Makuhitas, and it's like, well, this is a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to really shake the Machop's hand, but Talo put it down with Madonna put it down a little bit too quickly with that wing attack. He was like, wow, it's pretty gusty in here. Well,
Yeah.
the Madonna's got some voice, whipping up a wind tunnel. Tom Cruise is a Beautifly, level 15.
Still running it, huh?
Yeah, for now. I didn't have a ton of new options that I could swap in,
Yep.
but I usually keep the Butterfree or the, I guess,
Oh, yeah,
Beautifly
that's true of you.
equivalent
Yeah.
around for a little bit, like around level 20, and then I drop it.
Yeah.
And I would have dropped it to keep Wingull normally, but Wingull's dead.
Rest in petals.
And
yeah.
I want to have some flying in here. And stun spore abilities, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So Beautifly level 15. Steve Buscemi is a Grovyle now, level 18. And Grovyle, Steve Buscemi shall remain because Sceptile is not approved. And honestly, Grovyle is a much better design when I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it doesn't have ball back.
Yeah, they don't
Right.
just put a bunch of balls on it for
They
some
don't put a
reason.
bunch of balls on its back.
We'll see how long that lasts. Madonna, who was the MVP, one-hitted every single
It's always going to be
Pokemon
down in stats.
in Brawly.
Grovyle, you realize that, right?
Yeah.
It's never going to be at where it should be with stats.
There is a grass line that is fully approved that I can access already that I will probably swap.
Okay.
I will probably have to make a swap.
Okay.
I just honestly didn't have enough time to already do it.
All right. Madonna. Tailo.
Madonna is a Tailo. Wing attacked everyone in Brawly's gym. One-hit KO. Level 18 now, as a result. Charlize is Poochyena, level 15, who is also definitely on the chopping block because Mightyena is not available to me, so that's not going to last much longer, but the Thunderfang that it has is very useful at the moment.
Yeah, Mightyena is on my list, thankfully.
And then 2 newcomers. Papa Cultura met a couple of new celebs, 2 of his favorite singers, artists. Ariana Grande.
Oh, fellow Italian.
Wismer, yes.
He's like, oh, Ariana Large.
I'm more... Oh my god, yeah. He loves Ariana Large. Who is Wismer, level 12.
Wismer's on Mrs. Squirt's list, and so is the next one, but not Xploud.
Oh, that's really funny because I have the inverse. Loudred is not approved, but Xploud is. And we all know that I love Xploud. So
I know.
Ariana
I was kind of
Large
excited about it, but she didn't give me
probably
Xploud.
going to be at large for a while.
Yeah.
And then Nicki Minaj is Skitty, level 13.
Perfect.
And Bobby is naming all of them as well, and sometimes he has to think for a little bit, but Skitty, I would say both of these actually were pretty instant, but Skitty was like, as soon as he saw Skitty, and I was like, all right, what's the name?
Yeah.
And he's like, Nicki Minaj. He's like, she loves pink.
Here's mine. Admiral Squirt is building a menagerie.
I'm anxious to hear your 3 new members of the menagerie.
And as you know, I had to cut Makuhita, Surskit, and Zubat. Lobster Roll, Vigoroth, level 19. Evolved into Vigoroth. Great. Doesn't have Truant anymore. I know it's going to get it back, but whatever. Or Lazy. What's it called?
No, it's Truant.
Truant. But really enjoying it now that it doesn't have Truant.
When it's a unruly teen, it's fun.
Widby, Lombre, level 19. I don't know. I'm probably going to run
this. Was my
Rudy
iconic
Colo
Rudy Colo season.
I know.
Originally.
Batterson, Surskit, level 12. Tanner, your Surskit wasn't called Batterson. It was called Bass Brook. That one died.
And
I'm on my backup Surskit.
Bring a Surskit back into the team?
Yeah, I've never run a Masquerain.
You just want to see what it's like?
Yeah.
What's Batterson? What's the inspiration there?
Batterson is the pond that Bass Brook, by my house, that Bass Brook
it terminates
goes
there.
into.
That's cute.
Yep.
Nice connection there.
Scotty B, Marsh Stomp, level 16. Jamie's comment on Marsh Stomp is, haha, looks like a robot.
Sure. I can see that. This is very smooth.
And then Sanderson, Makuhita, level 11. Tanner, you said Makuhita died. This is my backup Makuhita. The first one was called Brando, after Brandon Sanderson. The second one is called Sanderson, after Brandon Sanderson.
Sure.
He's an author. He writes fantasy books that my wife and I both like. Hercules, Poochyena, level 16, because that's what I tried to get everyone to.
All right.
Well met. So yeah, I am going to have to go find another Zubat if I want to replace Bergen, who died in the battle. But I managed to bring in my backup Makuhita, my backup Surskit, and then Poochyena had been in the box for the gym, but now Poochyena is back too.
I was sort of hoping I could give Crobat another run. Did I do that in Gen 2? And I was pleasantly surprised.
But I've sort of come around on the entire line, so I was going to run it.
Well, ever since then, but I can't. None of them were approved for me, so.
Oh, whole line's approved for
Carry
me.
the torch for me.
The whole line. She liked it. She liked everything. Well, Miles has a little Golbat toy.
That's right.
That we got when we opened up those BK Kids Meal toys with David at the end of season 1.
I still have the Kangaskhan keychain. It is where we put our spare keys for when we have people taking care of the cats.
But that Jamie said she likes the Zubat line because of that toy. So they're all available to me, and I guess I'll be the one running a Crobat.
I don't really like the design up until Crobat. Crobat I like.
Yeah.
Plus it's just good as hell.
So yeah, I lost a few, as you heard when I eulogized
Tanner.
them beautifully, but I'm hoping
medals.
I can kind of bounce back from this. And then that leaves me with one other thing to say, Joshua. And it's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week. And I think for the first time in the history of the show, I just don't have one.
You have no barf. Because I noticed there were more barfs than sweeties on that Fueled by Robert compendium.
I think sometimes I've forgotten to say my barf, and like season 1, we weren't doing it consistently. But for the first time, I like looked. I didn't have any of my notes from the week, so I went and looked at the roots on Bulbapedia, and it's like, no, there's no losers.
It was a good looking leg, yeah.
Like there's some who've like been barfs before, like Zubat, but like I have no problem with Zubat. I'm not gonna just put Zubat on the list just cause or Tentacool, you know, like Tentacool, you know. I don't have to tell you I don't like Tentacool.
Right.
Don't make me say it again.
Not necessary.
I'll tell you when I don't like Gloom, because they find new ways to make me hate Gloom.
Sure.
Every generation.
But Zubat's minding its own business.
I've kind of come around on Zubat. I kind of like Zubat. How about that?
Oh my god.
I like his little like flappy arms, and he's like bopping all over the place now. He's like can barely keep himself in the air.
Yeah, I will say Pokemon Go has improved my opinion of Zubat, actually. It's just a historical hatred because of the caves in the first 2 gens.
Yeah. But yeah,
so
I have no barfs. Barf free this week. We should go.
Yeah.
This has been Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast. We took on Dewford Town this week, and now I think next week we're going to run back up north.
Yeah, I believe we've got mainland. A long leg is the next one, because I think we stop in Slateport, but we have to go to Mauville, and that's where the gym is. So
right.
Buckle up.
All right. Well, look forward to that, Bug Catchers. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and do follow the show everywhere that you follow podcasts. And do follow us at EXPSharePod on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can go on the subreddit at reddit.com/r/bugcatchers, where you can participate in the Trainer of the Week and compete to be the very best in the level checks. And if you get the most upvotes by the end of the season, you can battle us. Please restricted teams this time, so you can take advantage of that.
And apparently my team fucking sucks because they just crumble like fucking like paper to like Brawly's mighty fists.
Yeah. Not looking good for the Admiral.
Yep.
And you can also buy some merch at expsharemerch.com.
Joshua, Bug Catchers. See you next week. Goodbye.
Smell you later.